Writing a skincare formula can be pretty complicated once you're switching from a hobby to a business. You're still writing your cosmetic formula as you used to, but now you just have to be super specific and exact. You can't really afford to be approximate now anymore with ingredient measurements and drops and cups and how do you store ingredients, where you store them, switching scents and essential oils from one batch to another. You have to stick to consistency and you have to have formulas that are well written and can work no matter how large is your batch. Let's have a look at how to write a cosmetic formula step by step. I'm going to show you everything from beginning to the end so that all your formulas will look professional from day one. The first and the most important step, all the formulas come up to 100. It can be 100 grams or 100%, but this is the only and the exact way how to measure anything. The way I usually do it is I write it in my formulators workbook where I keep all my notes so that I don't lose stuff, and because I'm pretty disorganized. When I figure out that this formula worked, I would plug it in skincare formulator sheet so then I can start changing batches accordingly. So all the formulas come up to 100. Can you make a formula that go up to 200? No, I'm sorry, no, it's like the general number one golden rule of formulating skincare. First of all, you have a formula that goes up to 100 grams because we weigh everything, we weigh and measure everything in grams, and then you can change these grams into percentages so that you can always increase or decrease the size of your batch. This can allow you to be consistent across all batches, no matter the size. There are 3 phases to each formula, most commonly. So it's a water phase, oil phase, and the cool down phase. Not all products contain all 3 phases. Let's say you're making a facial toner. Facial toner could be just water phase and the cool down phase. So you have hydrosols, distilled water, maybe some botanical extracts, but all of them are water soluble, so you only have to add the cool down phase. In this case would be maybe a preservative. You've made a body butter. It usually just consists of oil phase. There are lots of oils that you use, so let's say almond oil, shea butter, mango butter, and vitamin E oil, which is then essentially your cool down phase, and the essential oils, which is also then the cool down phase. If you're making a lotion, the formula would consist of a water phase, which is essentially distilled water and other water soluble ingredients, and then you have the oil phase, almond oil, shea butter, and so on, and usually also the emulsifier, and then also our cool down phase, which is again preservative, also essential oils and other ingredients. How do you know what part of the phase do your ingredients belong? Speaking of the water phase, that could be your distilled water, hydrosols, different botanical extract, humectants like vegetable glycerin, hyaluronic acid solution, maybe some thickeners such as xanthan gum, aloe vera juice, and similar ingredients. And then when it comes to the oil phase, some of the most common ingredients would be like different carrier oils, like I said, almond oil, maybe grapeseed oil, and also all the butters, so shea butter, cocoa butter, mango butter, all that you can think of, including some of the thickeners like cetyl alcohol, stearic acid, and all the waxes, candelilla wax, beeswax. And if you're liking this video and if you're learning something new, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe so that I know that you like this kind of content and I create more in the weeks to come. The cool down phase, like I said, it's only for the ingredients that are not allowed to be warmed up or heated, because they would lose their effectiveness, they would lose their components, their valuable components. These ingredients usually include all the, I like to call them all the good stuff, so preservatives, fragrance like essential oils and fragrance oils, and then you also have different botanical extracts, vitamins, carrier oils that are a bit more luxurious, hemp seed oil, maybe prickly pear cactus oil, rose hip oil, sea buckthorn oil, and similar ingredients like this. If you have any CO2 extracts or any other active ingredients, they also usually go into the cool down. How much of each ingredient are you going to use in the formula? How do you decide? Based on your formulation goal, based on your experience. Like I know that cocoa butter can make really thick body butters if used too much. So for example, if I were making a body butter, I would definitely use a very low percentage of cocoa butter. And this is basically speaking from experience. Let's say you can use anywhere from like 5% to 50%. I would definitely keep it on the lower end. I'm speaking this from the top of my head, but let's say I would maybe go with 15 tops and see if it works. Maybe you also want to make like a serum for facial acne or problematic skin with vitamin B3, and you want to use that at 1%. So you already know that the vitamin B3 will be used at 1%. You just have to figure out the rest of the ingredients. All the information about the recommended usage rates usually come from the supplier sheet. So if you're not sure about how much of what to use, double check with your suppliers. Once you created the formulation, now it's time to make an actual product and see if the formulation is what you wanted it to do or to be. You check for scent, you check for texture, you check for its effectiveness or not effectiveness, and so on. We created this body lotion for summer with cocoa and grapefruit scent. When I was trying to come up with a formulation for this specific product, I wanted something that would be lightweight. I wanted cocoa butter because it's super awesome for skin, especially in the summer. And I wanted it to be refreshing because I'm crazy about citruses. So essentially I created it for myself to see if it worked properly. And my number one goal for this product was that it was lightweight and that it soaked into the skin easily, and then most importantly did not leave any greasy residue. I was super happy with the formulation when I created it, and I still use it to this day. The texture was spot on and it was just what I wanted it to do. So then the next step was to actually test the product itself to see if it had stability, how it performed across different environments, and so on. You can easily perform product stability at home just to see if it works at all, because eventually when you start selling, you will want to know that your products are stable, safe to use, and have a long shelf life.